brothers and sisters in Islam, you are welcome to the Masjid Tafseer. May Allah accept our fasting. May Allah let us be among those who are going to see the end of Ramadan and other Ramadans that we are yet to see, inshallah. And then please, we are reminding all of us to put our phones on silence. Please put your phones on vibrate. We'll give you 1 minute. We don't want any interruption or disturbance in the course of the tafsir. Jazakumullahu khairan. And then secondly, once again, I remind you, if you want to sponsor iftar, the door is still open. Ramadan is 19 today, if I'm not mistaken, inshallah. So the time is moving faster and faster, and I think the more Ramadan ends, the more the chances of doing more generosity pass by. So I advise myself and all of you, please, let us give dearly to the masjid, and then we get multitudes of reward, inshallah. And then we remind our sisters upstairs, if you have questions, please let us know, and we'll send the index cards to you so that you write it, and then we'll give it to our Sheikh for explanation. And then our brothers who are not able to come, we have it streaming on radio. We have a number. You can come on it, you can go on Facebook, you can go on YouTube. So if you are traveling, in case, let us know. We can give you a number. Wherever you go in the United States, you can listen to us live whilst our Sheikh is doing the translation. May Allah bless all of us. Let's go to our Sheikh Hafiz, inshallah, for the commencement, inshallah.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إذا جاءك المنافقون قالوا نشهد إنك لرسول الله والله يعلم إنك لرسوله والله يشهد إن المنافقين لكاذبون. اتخذوا أيمانهم جنة فصدوا عن سبيل الله إنهم ساء ما كانوا يعملون.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Today, as we have heard, is the 19th day of the glorious month of Ramadan, 19, meaning we have just 11 days to go. Allahu Akbar. Just, it was yesterday it started. Now the days are rolling by. Allahu Akbar. We ask Allah to record us in the book of goodness, to be among those that have achieved graciously in this month and beyond. Okay, the questions here say, Salamun alaykum wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Is one permitted to recite verse or verses of the Quran when he or she is stuck naked? You see, everything has its ethics. The Quran al-Kareem is a book that Allah calls it Kareem. Innahu la Quranun Kareem. It is the book that is honorable, that deserves to be respected. So read the Quran as you put it, stuck naked, is not in tune with the culture of good Muslims. Yeah. Because you measure yourself up. Will you come out naked, stuck naked? You wouldn't like that. So if people deserve your respect, respecting their feelings, the book of Allah deserves any form of respect beyond what human level would think about. We talked about the right of Quran up to 11. One of such rights is respecting it. So it's not recommended, it's not expected of a good Muslim to behave like this. Number two, in such a situation of being stuck naked, he himself is not composed. He will be trying to be looking for what to wear, I do believe. So in such a situation, the concentration expected is not even there. So don't do this. Allahu Akbar.
Sheikh, what if the person is a hafiz?
Is a hafiz? Hafiz means he that protects, that is hafiz. Let him, the meaning of hafiz, be there. He is the best person to even behave well. Yeah.
So Sheikh, like when you, let's say you have blanket on you.
That's not stuck naked. He's talking about stuck. Look at the Quran. Stuck naked. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Somebody might tell you, well, if he does it, he read it correctly, has he committed sin? Should somebody ask this question, we say, well, it's not the issue of sinning. But we're talking about the ethics of the Quran is not maintained. It's not maintained here. So it's not an act of good behavior and attitude from a good Muslim. Where I work at, music is always played. And I am fasting. What shall I do? Where he walks or she walks, music is played always, and he is observing a fast. What can he do? As long as you don't want it in your heart, that does not affect your fasting. If you can tell them, please put it off without any causing trouble, tell them. Otherwise, maintain your fasting. Allah knows your heart. Allahu Akbar. What is the role of the youth in the Muslim community? How important is it to invest time in them? And how should they deal with the temptations of America? Well, they are saying, if you see an immoral old man, perchance he used to be an immoral young man. Yeah. من شب على شيء شاب عليه. من شب على شيء شاب عليه. He who grows up doing something is likely for him to develop white hair doing something. So the time of properly bringing children up is when they are born. In fact, if you want to give your child good training, start doing so 10 years before he's born. How? By looking at a good woman and marry her. Find out a good lady that is God-fearing, that maintains the good culture of Islam, marry her. There are chances of having good children because وَالْبَلَدُ الطَّيِّبُ يَخْرُجُ نَبَاتُهُ بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهِ وَالَّذِي خَبُثَ لَنَكِرَ. A good land, a good piece of land produces good produce. So by the time you have good woman as your wife and good husband, there are chances of producing good children. With these in mind, that will inshallah ta'ala make the children contribute their quotas in the community beautifully. Let me give you an example. In this area of New York City, Bronx area, let's assume we have 40 houses, 40 houses. In each of the house, there are 4 women, married women. I'll give you a little calculation. 40 times 4. 40 times 4. 160 women. Let's assume each and every one of the women has memorized the Quran. Is Hafiza, Qari'a, Taliya, Murattila. Not only that, they all put to practice whatever they have learned. So we assume them to be good women. They fear Allah. And let's assume each and every one of them gives birth to 4 children. I'll give you extra exercise. 4 times the 160.
620.
60?
620.
620.
640.
640.
640.
Right. So now we have how many children?
640.
Look at their mothers, good or bad. What is the expectation concerning the children? To behave in a better way? That's the expectation. So I am just telling you, by the time you make sure the children are properly brought up, there are clear chances of the children responding and behaving in a better way. This example makes it clear. So in each and every given society, there should be communal efforts in bringing your young ones on board. Organize a quarterly meeting. Gather all your young girls in a town hall. Tell them the good things in life. Your girls, tell them the temptation of the society you live in. Maintain constant connection with your young ones. If you don't do that, Satan will take over them. Control what you see over the television, what you hear, what the site you visit over the net, among other things. This is the responsibilities of the Masjid in the community, the elders in the community, and any organizational formats. Inshallah tawfiq. Is there any verse in the Quran where it certifies beheading? If yes, at what level of criminality should one be beheaded? If somebody beheads somebody, he should do what? Exactly. وَلَكُمْ فِي الْقِسَاسِ حَيَاةٌ يَعْلَمْ لَكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. In the qisas, what is qisas? Retributive law. Law of retribution. Formerly the Arab used to say Al-Qatlu Anfal al-Qatl. But the Quran changes it with وَلَكُمْ فِي الْقِسَاسِ حَيَاةٌ. But what we know, if somebody commits capital offense that deserves being killed, Islam organizes how that should be done. Alright? But beheading you mentioned, I don't know how this is mentioned. I don't know where this is mentioned, but maybe through doing it, they feel that is the method they will employ in instilling fear in a would-be potential criminal. Allahu Akbar. But in Islam, if somebody deserves being killed, there are ways that the Sharia maintains. If the society doing it, feel that is how they do it, and it sends good signal, so be it. May Allah make it possible for us to understand the deen properly. We are entering new surah, and today the surah is going to take a little bit different dimension from what it had been for the couple of days back. Surah Al-Munafiqun. Let's have the recitation once again. أيها القارئ.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إذا جاءك المنافقون قالوا نشهد إنك لرسول الله والله يعلم إنك لرسوله والله يشهد إن المنافقين لكاذبون اتخذوا أيمانهم جنة فصدوا عن سبيل الله إنهم ساء ما كانوا يعملون.
This is Surah Al-Munafiqun. Munafiqun means the hypocrites. We explained the meaning of hypocrisy in the last discourse. But before then, this surah is Surah 63. Surah what? 63. And it was revealed in Medina. It has 11 ayat or verses as the previous Surah 62, Surah Al-Jumu'ah. It has 180 words, kalimat, 180, with 780 letters. Allah says, إِذَا جَاءَكَ الْمُنَافِقُونَ قَالُوا نَشْهَدُ إِنَّكَ لَرَسُولُ اللَّهِ وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ إِنَّكَ لَرَسُولُهُ وَاللَّهُ يَشْهَدُ إِنَّ الْمُنَافِقِينَ لَكَاذِبُونَ. When the hypocrite come to you, they say, we testify that indeed you are Allah's Rasul or Messenger. Allah says, but Allah testifies that you are His Messenger. Allah knows you are His Messenger regardless of what they say. Meaning, we are not in need of their testimony because Allah knows He will lie. Ta'atun ma'rufa. Wallahu yashhadu innal munafiqina lakadhibun. Allah testifies that the hypocrites were lying. They were not speaking the truth. They only gave the utterances of their mouth, but inwardly they are not believers. Then Allah says in the second ayah, اتخذوا أيمانهم جنة فصدوا عن سبيل الله إنهم ساء ما كانوا يعملون. اتخذوا أيمانهم جنة. The hypocrites took their oath as a cover. They will say, Wallahi we do it, Wallah, Wallah. So by the time they swear, the true believers will take them for granted. So, but they were swearing as a camouflaging tactics to cover their sinfulness and to give the impression that they are true believers. So, فَصَدُّوا عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. You see? Al-fa'ul is-sabr. Subsequently and consequently, they averted people. لأن الصد is to avert and to block somebody from becoming a believer. So فَصَدُّوا عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. They blocked people, they barricaded people from sabilillah, Allah's way. إِنَّهُمْ سَاءَ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. Indeed, so evil is what they were doing. Now, I want to take two words there in the second ayah. Fasaddu and Sabilillah, to explain and give detailed explanation. This is one branch of Tafseer. They call it Ilm al-Wujuh wal-Nadha'ir. The very term Saddu, Fasaddu, they block people. This word Fasaddu occurs in Quran in 4 different meanings. First, As-Saddu may come and it means turning away. 2, Saddu comes and it means blocking people from becoming Muslims, as we have here. 3, Saddu comes but it means laughing loudly to create commotion and hysteria. 4, As-Saddu comes, it means facing somebody on his face. Now I want the Hafiz to give me each and every ayah on each of the meanings of this word As-Saddu. Look at it. اتخذوا أيمانهم جنة فصدوا. So the emphasis is on the word fasaddu. Number 1, saddu comes but it means turning away, as you find it in chapter number 4 verse number 61. وإذا قيل لهم تعالوا إلى ما أنزل إلى الرسول.
وإذا قيل لهم تعالوا إلى ما أنزل الله وإلى الرسول رأيت المنافقين يصدون عنك صدودا.
Look at it. This is surah number 4, ayah number 61. Allah says, diverting their faces. So the word saddu is used but a different meaning. That is the meaning of saddu number 1. It comes but it means al-i'rab, as in this surah 4:61. Secondly, as-saddu comes but it means blocking people. The example is Surat Al-A'raf, surah number 7, ayah number 45. الذين يصدون عن سبيل الله.
الذين يصدون عن سبيل الله ويبغونها عوجا أولئك لهم عذاب أليم.
This is Surah Al-A'raf, surah number 7, ayah number 45. الذين يصدون عن سبيل الله ويبغونها عوجا. أين محل الشاهد؟ يصدون. Those who avert people, who block people, who push them away from maintaining the right way. So you can see this ayah number 45 tallies is in concomitance with the ayah of Al-Munafiqun we are just reading right now. So the ayah of Al-Munafiqun, we had it. اتخذوا أيمانهم جنة فصدوا. So you can see this ayah, the process in this in Surah Zukhruf, surah number 43, ayah number 57. ولما ضرب ابن مريم
ولما ضرب ابن مريم مثلا إذا قومك منه يصدون.
يصدون بالكسرة.
ولما ضرب ابن مريم مثلا إذا قومك منه يصدون.
In this surah, Surah Al-Zukhruf 43, ayah number 57, Allah says, وَلَمَّا ضُرِبَ ابْنُ مَرْيَمَ مَثَلًا إِذَا قَوْمُكَ مِنْهُ يَصِدُّونَ بِالْكَسْرَةِ. When Isa, son of Mary, was given as an example of Allah's manifestation of mercy, your people began to giggle, laughing loudly. The term here is Yasid, belonging to the same term. This is a branch of Tafseer. The ulama call it what? Al-Wujuh wal-Nadha'ir. You get a word with different meaning. I'll give you an example. I told my close friend to close the door. Get it? Close. Are they the same?
No.
I told my close friend to close the door. The first close implies what?
Friendship.
Intimacy. But the second one is shutting the door. What do you call this?
Word of sympathy.
Synonyms.
I think it's synonyms.
Is it synonyms?
Not synonyms.
It's not synonyms.
No, because synonym, no, homony. No,
Okay.
yeah, because
All right. Give it the same meaning. Right? They are like this in language. So my close friend closed that door, for example. So here you get a one word, but with different meaning. But how do you get it? Look at the context. That is why Abdullah ibn Mas'ud ibn Abbas when Ali ibn Abdullah sent him to debate with the Khawari. He said, لا تحجهم بالقرآن فإن القرآن ذو وجوه. Read Sunnah for them. Because Sunnah explains the Quran. So we are with ayah number 2 in chapter number 63 concerning the term يعني فصدوا عن سبيل الله. Number 4, Saddu comes, but it means facing up somebody, paying attention to somebody excessively. As in Surah number 80, Surah Abasa, where Allah says, أَمَّا مَنِ اسْتَغْنَى.
أما من استغنى فأنت له تصدى.
That is Surah 5, Surah 80, verses 5 to 6. أما من استغنى فأنت له تصدى. وما عليك Allah? يزكى. But as for such that is wealthy and you are paying extra attention to it, that تصدى. So you can see, Imam al-Damaghani in his beautiful book says, and each and every word is taken from either Al-Tabari or Al-Baghri. They call this Al-Wujuhu wal-Nadha'ir. One word with different meanings. Now you ask yourself, the word we are talking about right now, which of these meanings tallies with this? That is the one in Surah Al-A'raf. اتخذوا أيمانهم جنة فصدوا. They block people from Allah's way. Now, an sabilillah, they block people from Allah's way. Sabilillah, sabil in Quran comes in 13 different meanings. 13, 1, 3. And we're going to the Quran, and the Qari shall give us the verses, each and every one. So that you pick which one goes in translating the ayah that is with you. Now the Munafiqun saddu, block people from what? An sabilillah. Sabil may come in Quran, but it means ata'a. Yeah. Sabil comes in the Quran, but it means ata'a, obedience to Allah. That is number 1. Sabil comes and it means al-balagh, reaching a place. It's called sabil in Quran terminology. Number 3, sabil comes in Quran, it means al-makhraj, a way out of a problem. Number 4, sabil comes, it means al-masla, a way of living. Maslakul hayat. Sabil number 5 comes, it means al-ilal, causality. Sabil number 6 comes, it means ad-deen, religion. Sabil number 7 comes and means al-huda, guidance. Sabil comes, it means hujjah, proof. Number 8, number 9, sabil comes, it means al-tariq, the way. Number 10, sabil comes and it means the right way. And number 11, sabil means transgression, committing excesses. Number 12, sabil means al-millah, religion. And sabil number 13 means criminality. Now, out of all these variants, which of these translates this ayah number 2 in this surah number 6 to what? Number 6 to what? 61, 63. So let's go on them one by one. Don't forget the ayah is فَصَدُّوا عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. We have explained as-sadd. In how many different places? 4. And in the process you will get the translations. One out of the many translates the ayah. And you'll get the translation of others as you go to other verses. Allahu Akbar. So as-sabil may come and it means obedience to Allah. As in Al-Baqarah ayah 261. مثل الذين ينفقون
مثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله كمثل حبة أنبتت 7 سنابل في كل سنبلة 100 حبة.
Now here, this is ayah number 261. مثل الخمال في سبيل الله. The example of those who spend their wealth في سبيل الله. Sabil here in obedience to Allah. That is the meaning of what? Sabil here. Okay? Now this explains ayah number 2. اتخذوا أيمانهم جنة فصدوا عن سبيل الله. It means ta'ah to Allah. But here specifically those who spend their wealth fi sabilillah in obedience to Allah. People who are going out for Islamic propagation, you give your money, that's fi sabilillah. Alright? You contribute your money for the upkeep of your masjid, to your society, is part of obeying Allah. So that is the meaning of sabil in this meaning. Similarly, in the same Baqarah ayah 195, وَأَنْفِقُوا
وأنفقوا في سبيل الله ولا تلقوا بأيديكم إلى التهلكة وأحسنوا إن الله يحب المحسنين.
Still on the first meaning of sabil in ta'ah. وَأَنْفِقُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ وَلَا تُلْقُوا بِأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى التَّهْلُكَةِ. Spend your wealth fi sabilillah in observing obedience to Allah the Almighty. Similarly, in Surah number 4, ayah number 76, الذين آمنوا يقاتلون في سبيل الله والذين كفروا يقاتلون في سبيل الطاغوت وقاتلوا أولياء الشيطان إن كيد الشيطان كان ضعيفا. Still on sabil to the first minute, Allah says الذين آمنوا يقاتلون في سبيل الله. That's محل الشاهد. والذين كفروا يقاتلون في سبيل الطاغوت فقاتلوا أولياء الشيطان. That is Surah An-Nisa ayah 76, all capturing the essence of the word sabil on the first minute. It means obedience to Allah, which is the meaning of this ayah or similar to that. That is number 1. Number 2, the very word sabil comes, but it means reaching your destination. Not as it's number 1. It means al-balagh. Like in Surah Al-Imran, Surah number 3, ayah number 97. وَلِلَّهِ عَلَى النَّاسِ حِجُّ الْبَيْتِ مَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ إِلَيْهِ
ولله على الناس حج البيت من استطاع إليه سبيلا.
The cure there is sabila. Look at it. Sabila here is not as the one you mentioned. وَلِلَّهِ عَلَى النَّاسِ حِجُّ الْبَيْتِ مَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ إِلَيْهِ sabila. If you have the sabil ability to reach Makkah, spend your money, go there. So you can see sabil comes and got a different meaning here. But the words, the configuration are one. Sabil, sabil. Number 3, sabil comes in Quran, but it means a way out of a quagmire, a way out of a problematic situation. Like in Surah number 17, ayah number 48, Allah says, انظر كيف ضربوا لك الأمثال.
انظر كيف ضربوا لك الأمثال فضلوا فلا يستطيعون سبيلا.
Similar one in Al-Furqan, Surah number 25. Same, انظر.
انظر كيف ضربوا لك الأمثال فضلوا فلا يستطيعون
The
سبيلا.
first one is Al-Isra 48. The second one, Al-Furqan 9. The same message. انظر كيف ضربوا لك الأمثال فضلوا فلا يستطيعون what? سبيلا. Look at how they gave you this example. They cannot get themselves out of their problem. So Sabila comes here with a different meaning, unlike what you heard the first instant and the second. Similarly, in Surah An-Nisa, Surah number 4, ayah number 15, وَاللَّاتِي يَأْتِينَ الْفَاحِشَةَ مِنْ نِسَائِكُمْ.
واللاتي يأتين الفاحشة من نسائكم واللاتي يأتين الفاحشة من نسائكم فاستشهدوا عليهن أربعة منكم فإن شهدوا فأمسكوهن في البيوت حتى يتوفاهن الموت أو يجعل الله لهن سبيلا.
The keyword there is what? Sabila. That is Surah An-Nisa, ayah number 15. وَاللَّاتِي يَأْتِينَ الْفَاحِشَةَ مِنْ نِسَائِكُمْ فَاستشهدوا عليهن أربعة منكم فإن شهدوا. Okay? Those who commit zina amongst your women, hold them incommunicado in the room, in the houses, until testimony or evidences are established against them. 4. فَإِن شَهِدُوا, if witnesses have given testimony, then hold them in the room until they die, or Allah gives them sabila. Sabila means way out of the situation. You can see it? Again, number 4. Sabil comes in Quran, but it means just a bad way. A way that is very negative. A bad system for you to engage in. Like in Surat An-Nisa, ayah number 22. ولا تنكحوا ما نكح آباؤكم من النساء.
ولا تنكحوا ما نكح آباؤكم من النساء إلا ما قد سلف إنه كان فاحشة ومقتا وساء سبيلا.
ولا تنكحوا ما نكح آباؤكم من النساء إنه كان فاحشة ومقتا وساء sabila. Do not marry such women that your fathers married. Allah says it is a bad way. Maslakun khatir, maslakun qabil is a negative style for somebody to marry his father's ex-wife. Allah calls this style sabil, a negative way. So you can see sabil comes as number 4 in this sequence with the meaning. Similarly, in Surah Al-Isra, Surah number 17, ayah number 32, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا.
ولا تقربوا الزنا إنه كان فاحشة وساء سبيلا.
Still Allah says sabila here. وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا إنه كان فاحشة وساء sabila. The first one, maqatan, here without maqat. Do not approach zina. It is a negative style in one's life to be adulterer or fornicator. He calls it negative sabil. Similarly, in number 5, sabil comes in Quran, but it means causality, a way, a reason for doing something. Like in Surah An-Nisa, ayah number 34, وَاللَّاتِي تَخَافُونَ نُشُوزَهُنَّ فَعِظُوهُنَّ.
واللاتي تخافون نشوزهن فعظوهن واهجروهن في المضاجع واهجروهن في المضاجع واضربوهن فإن أطعنكم فلا تبغوا عليهن
وإن
سبيلا.
أطعنكم فلا تبغوا عليهن سبيلا. That's محل الشاهد. Those amongst your wives who prove to be rebellious, then Allah teaches us how to treat them. Keep away from them. Give them light beating. If they obey you, do not look for any way, okay, a way of doing bad things against them. Allah called us sabila. That is al-illah. Number 7 or number 6. Is this 6 or 7? Number 6. Sabil comes, but it means religion. On the 6th instance, Allah says in Surah An-Nisa, ayah 115, He says, وَمَنْ يُشَاقِقِ الرَّسُولَ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا تَبَيَّنَ الْهُدَى.
ومن يشاقق الرسول من بعد ما تبين له الهدى ويتبع غير سبيل المؤمنين نوله ما تولى ونصله جهنم وساءت مصيرا.
ويتبع غير سبيل المؤمنين نوله ما تولى ونصله جهنم وساءت what? مصيرا. Those who descend from the Prophet and take a different sabil of the believers. Sabil means din al-mutaqaddimin. The ulama says sabil here means the religion. He who leaves the Prophet without obeying him and decides for the sabil of the non-Muslims. Alright? Then he is taking the sabil of people other than the Sahaba. So sabil here means the religion of the pious predecessors. So you can see, number 6, sabil comes but it means religion. Number 7, or before then, in Surah An-Nahl, Surah number 16, ayah 125, ادع إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة.
ادع إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة.
The point here, call people إلى سبيل ربك, to the religion of your Lord. So sabil here means what? Religion. Number 7, sabil comes, it means guidance. In Surah An-Nisa, ayah number 88, وَمَنْ يُلَّهِ ومن يضلل فلن تجد له
ومن يضلل الله فلن تجد له سبيلا.
Again in Surah number 43 ayah 46 وما كان لهم من أولياء
وما كان لهم من أولياء ينصرونهم من دون الله.
Now
ومن يضلل الله فلن تجد له سبيلا.
The first one is in Surah An-Nisa, the second is in Surah Ash-Shura, Surah number 42. They all talk about whosoever that Allah leads astray cannot have sabil. Sabil here means cannot have guidance, because it is mentioned in contrast to Abdallah. So you can see sabil comes, it implies al-huda. Number 8, sabil still comes in Quran, but it means proof. Proof. As in Surah number 4, ayah 141. وَلَنْ يَجْعَلَ اللَّهُ لِلْكَافِرِينَ
ولن يجعل الله للكافرين على المؤمنين سبيلا.
Allah will never give the unbelievers an upper hand, a clear victory against the believers if they maintain the good religion. So it is called here sabil. Sabil. Similarly, in Surah An-Nisa, ayah 90, فَإِنِ اعْتَزَلُوكُمْ. Nah, Surah okay. Malum min sabil, you wouldn't have any sabil. The first one is sabila, the second Ishura is min sabil. There has no any way out. Now let's go to the instance number 8. That is to say, that is Surah An-Nisa, Ayah number 90. فَإِنِ اعْتَزَلُوكُمْ فَلَمْ
فإن اعتزلوكم فلم يقاتلوكم وألقوا إليكم السلم فما جعل الله لكم عليهم سبيلا.
فإن اعتزلوكم فلم يقاتلوكم وألقوا إليكم السلم فما جعل الله لكم. Now, Sabila is also mentioned here. If the unbelievers who fight you now decide to make peace with you and allow you to go, then Allah says He has not given you any proof to continue fighting them. The word mentioned here also is Sabila. That is instance number what? Or have you missed it? You missed the calculation? 8. Number 9, Sabil comes, it means just at-tariq. At-tariq, just a way. Instance number 9. Where we get that one, for example, is in Surat An-Nisa 498. إلا المستضعفين من الرجال.
إلا المستضعفين من الرجال والنساء والولدان الذين لا يستطيعون حيلة. إلا المستضعفين من الرجال والنساء والولدان الذين لا إلا المستضعفين من الرجال والنساء والولدان لا إلا المستضعفين من الرجال والنساء والولدان لا يستطيعون حيلة ولا يهتدون. إلا المستضعفين من الرجال والنساء والولدان لا يستطيعون حيلة ولا يهتدون سبيلا.
Similarly, in Al-Qasas 22, عسى ربي أن يهديني.
عسى ربي أن يهديني سواء السبيل.
Now, the scholars say Sabil here, in the ayah first we read in Surah number 4, ayah number 98, إلا المستضعفين من الرجال والنساء والولدان. Allah said, except those who could not make immigration to Medina, because they were either men, women, and little boys or small children who couldn't get Sabil, that is Tariq, to Medina. So Sabil here is mentioned, but it means what? At-Tariq. Similarly, Prophet Musa alayhi salatu wasalam in Surah Al-Qasas says, Asa Rabbi an yahdiyani sawa as-sabil. It is my hope my Lord will guide me to the right Sabil. That is At-Tariq, to go back to Egypt. So you can see the term Sabil is mentioned in different forms. Each and every one has its own meaning if you look at the contextual arrangement. Now, instance number 10. Sabil comes in the Quran, but it means Tariqul Huda. Instance number 9 means just ordinary Tariq, guiding you to any place. But here it means Tariqul Huda. Instance number 10. Example in Surah number 5 and number 60. أولئك شر مكانا.
أولئك شر مكانا وأضل عن سواء السبيل.
Similarly, ayah number 77, قل يا أهل الكتاب لا تغلوا في دينكم.
قل يا أهل الكتاب لا تغلوا في دينكم ولا تقولوا قل يا أهل الكتاب لا تغلوا في دينكم غير الحق ولا تتبعوا أهواء قوم قد ضلوا من قبل وأضلوا كثيرا وضلوا عن سواء السبيل.
Both ayah 60 and ayah 77 have spoken of Sabil. أولئك شر مكانا وأضلوا عن سواء السبيل. Such are the worst and far removed from the right way. The right way here is referred to as sabil. Similarly, in the same surah, Allah says, talking about Ahlul Kitab, قَدْ ضَلُّوا مِنْ قَبْلُ وَأَضَلُّوا كَثِيرًا وَضَلُّوا عَنْ سَوَاءِ السَّبِيلِ. They are far removed from the right way. So you can see, instance number 10 refers to sabil as the right way. 11. Sabil comes in the Quran, but it means transgression. Like in Surah number 41, Surah Shura, Ayah number 42. No, 42, Ayah 41 and 42. Where Allah says, وَلَمَنْ انْتَصَرَ
ولمن انتصر بعد ظلمه فأولئك ما عليهم من سبيل.
Then إنما السبيل, just there. وَلَمَنْ انْتَصَرَ, whosoever that takes a revenge. So there is no any sabil against you. If you do bad thing to somebody and he retaliates, proportionate to what was done to you, there is no any transgression to be preferred against you. Allah called transgression sabil in this very case. That is instance number 1. Number 1, are you following me? Number 11. Number 11. Number 12. Sabil comes, but it means a chosen religion. Al-Millah, like in Surah Yusuf and 108. قُلْ هَذِهِ سَبِيلِ
قل هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله على بصيرة أنا ومن اتبعني وسبحان الله وما أنا من المشركين.
محل الشاهد قل هذه سبيلي in Surah Yusuf 108. قل هذه سبيلي. Sabil is mentioned. Tell them this is my sabil, my chosen religion that leads me to Allah. It's called sabil. Alright? هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله على بصيرة أنا ومن اتبعني. Surah Yusuf, Surah number 12. Finally, in this sequential arrangement, sabil comes, but it means act of criminality. Yeah, al-ithm, al-dhamb, sin. Allah says where in Surah Al-Imran, Surah number 3, Ayah 75, ذلك بأنهم قالوا ليس علينا في الأميين
ذلك بأنهم قالوا ليس علينا في الأميين سبيل ويقولون على الله الكذب وهم يعلمون.
Similarly in Surah number 9, Ayah 90, ما على المحسنين
ما على المحسنين من سبيل.
إنما السبيل is a hizb. Now you can see the last in this arrangement, sabil is mentioned to imply to cannot any sin to be preferred against somebody. The Jews are saying, Allah says in Surah Al-Imran, ذلك بأنهم قالوا ليس علينا في الأميين سبيل. The Jews will be devouring people's money. The Gentiles, alright, the Goyim, you know the term, the derogatory term, claiming that there is no any sin if you chop their money. So Allah calls the absence of sin as sabil. Similarly in Surah At-Tawbah ayah 91, Allah says, مَا عَلَى الْمُحْسِنِينَ مِنْ سَبِيلٍ. Those who have shown goodness, there is no any sin to be brought against them. These things I have taken time, the trouble to explain, constitute an independent segment of Tafseer. The ulama call it ilmu al-wujub wal-nadha'ir. Books written in this kind of thing. There is a book written by a great scholar, Al-Imam al-Damaghani. The name of the book is Al-Wujub wal-Nadha'ir. I can recall one day in Medina, I looked for the book, I couldn't get it. I went to that shop, I went to Mecca. You know where I got it? I had to go to Jeddah in a bookstore, Maktabat al-Shanqiti. When I reached, when I told him, he said, go back to Mecca, come back tomorrow. We shall find it wherever it happened in the world. And believe me, when I returned, the book was there looking at me, and I was looking at the book too. I gave the money, I collected it. Get the book. Very important. It tells you one word with different meaning. Now, out of all these, if I would ask you, which of these 13 instances translate our ayah number 2? The first one? You're excited to ask you. Because the point is, after analyzing them, then look at one that tallies, that explains the particular surah of our concentration, of our focus. Sabil comes in how many instances? 13. First one, it comes, it means ata'a. And number 2, it means blocking people from obeying Allah. And Surat Al-Munafiqun, Surah ayah number 2 says, اتخذوا أيمانهم جنة فصدوا عن سبيل الله. They block you from Allah's way. So Sabil means obeying Allah the Almighty. The remaining 12 meanings do not apply here. You get the application as with the Quran from Baqarah to Surah An-Nas. Is that very clear? That is the meaning of this surah number 2. اتخذوا أيمانهم جنة فصدوا عن سبيل الله. They have taken their oath and their swearing as what? As a shield, so that they are not easily discovered and uncovered. فصدوا عن سبيل الله إنهم ساء ما كانوا يعملون ذلك بأنهم آمنوا.
ذلك بأنهم آمنوا ثم كفروا فطبع على قلوبهم فهم لا يفقهون.
ذلك بأنهم آمنوا. That is so because they believed. ثم كفروا, and later they renounced the Iman. They disbelieved. فطبع على قلوبهم. So in their hearts, seal was put. They were blocked. Their heart was blocked from receiving Iman. فهم لا يفقهون, whereas they perceive not. Next ayah.
وإذا رأيتهم تعجبك أجسامهم وإن يقولوا تسمع لقولهم كأنهم خشب مسندة يحسبون كل صيحة عليهم هم العدو فاحذرهم قاتلهم الله أنى يؤفكون.
This ayah analyzes the features of the Munafiqun. You know, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, I should say, suffered in the hand of the Munafiqun in Medina. Allahumma salli wa sallim alayhi. They will come and proclaim Iman verbally, but inwardly they hated the Rasul. They gave the Jews every support to fight the Rasul. One of such is their leader Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul. But you know what? His son embraced Islam. His name is Abdullah ibn Abdullah ibn Salul. So when the father died, the Prophet ﷺ wanted to pray on his dead body. He was a munafiq. They will come to the Prophet, they will be saying, we too believe in you. آمنا بك. وإذا لقوا الذين آمنوا قالوا آمنا. وإذا خلوا إلى شياطينهم قالوا إنا معكم إنما نحن مستهزئون. So Allah tells us more about their behavior or their features. وَإِذَا رَأَيْتَهُمْ, if you see them, the munafiqun, تُعْجِبُكَ أَجْسَامُهُمْ, their human build will impress you. Well fed, well fed. They don't lose weight. They don't machiate. They eat and eat deliciously. But that is nothing. وإذا رأيتهم تعجبك أجسامهم وإن يقولوا تسمع لقولهم. If they should talk, you will definitely listen to them, because they are given sugar-coated utterances. They impress you. They can talk. That is quality number 2. كأنهم خشب مسندة. They are just like propped up timber. You know timber? That is internally empty, just leaning against something. Soon it will fall down. That is the example. كأنهم خشب مسندة. Like propped up timber. That is number 3. Number 4, يحسبون كل صيحة عليه. يحسبون كل صيحة عليهم. Okay, they think every shot is aimed against them. If they hear the believers talking about Munafiqun, maybe are we in the target? Because of their insincerity. And that is the view of a Munafiq. Any Munafiq, any hypocrite person that comes and intermingles with you is always apprehensive that it will easily be uncovered. Because of the disease of his heart, Allah removes comfort in his own mind. يَحْسَبُونَ كُلَّ صِحَةٍ. Allah says, هُمُ الْأَدُوُّ فَحَضَرْهُمْ. They are the enemies. Keep your distance from them. قَاتَلَهُمُ اللَّهُ. Oh, Allah condemn them. Allah's condemnation be on them. أَنَّا يُؤْفَكُونَ. How easily are they deluded from the right way? You see, this ayah is just like you are reading Surat At-Tawbah. You know Tawbah? It is called Al-Muqashqisha. Here to Qashqishu. It is called Al-Fadiha. It renders the Munafiqun naked. Who can tell me the name of the Sahabi that Allah gave him the knowledge of when he critically looks at a person, he knows he's a Munafiq? Who is that? There is a Sahabi that Allah gave him the ability, the capacity, when a Munafiq entered, we'll just say, Umar said, please, so and so, please, am I a Munafiq? He said, Subhanallah ya Umar. He said, أنا أخاف من النفاق. Who is that Sahabi? Yes. Now? Say it correctly. Ibn Umayr. Okay, 50%, you tried. Hudayfa ibn al-Yaman. You tried, barakallah. Hudayfa ibn al-Yaman, a Munafiq, wouldn't come in surprises. He just analyzes you. Look, you are a Munafiq. Munafiq. So somebody might say, okay, is it the basis of detective espionage, intelligence collection? You see, espionage work, it are done for worldly things. His own was not for worldly things. If you do it to preserve the ummah against any harm, that would be good. إنما الأعمال, we do it for money, for prestige. So Umar ibn al-Khattab said, Ya Hudayfa, please, for the sake of Allah, please tell me, am I a Munafiq? He said, Subhanallah, Subhanallah ya Umar. I fear for myself. If Umar, Allahu Akbar, such a person that the Prophet ﷺ said, if Allah will be sending some prophets, if not I'm the sea, Umar will have another prophet. If Satan knows Umar is on this road, Satan will have taken a different route. This man, different Quranic verses, about 5 to 9, were revealed to confirm his judgments. Yet, he was entertaining fear of being a Munafiq. Then why should I fear myself? Who am I? Be very careful. Because of worldly until somebody becomes a Munafiq. Peeping at the secret of the Muslims coming to pray, even with the beard. But there's a Munafiq beard. Wallah. لحية النفاق. ونعوذ بالله من ذلك. To get money. You've got money as someone. What about cheat? Later. So nifaq is very, very, very dangerous. But does that mean I should not pass the information of a bad character to the authority? No. You can do that. If somebody is believed to be a bad character, causing havoc in the community, no, to be gotten rid of. That is true. The ulama are saying backbiting is lawful on 6 instances. I will tell you now. But backbiting is haram, but it is lawful on 6 occasions. One of such is passing the information about a negative character, a bad character of society, for the rule of law to take its due course. That is not riba. But a munafiqi is very dangerous. And I have explained, nifaq is of 2 categories. There is major hypocrisy and minor hypocrisy. The major one plunges the doer into the hellfire. But the minor one reduces one level of iman. The major one is like what we're doing here. وَإِذَا رَأَيْتَهُمْ تُعْجِبُكَ أَجْسَامُهُمْ وَإِنْ يَقُولُوا تَسْمَعْ لِقَوْلِهِمْ كَأَنَّهُمْ خُشُبٌ مُّسَنَّدَةٌ يَحْسَبُونَ كُلَّ صَيْحَةٍ عَلَيْهِمْ هُمُ الْعَدُوُّ وَإِذَا لَقُوا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا قَالُوا آمَنَّا إِنَّمَا كُنَّا نَخُونُ وَنَلْعَبُ. These are the signs. They don't want to see Islam uplifted. They can join hands with even enemies of Allah to fight the deen. Allah says, Humul adu. Such are the enemies. Keep your distance from them. The second class of nifaq, we call it social nifaq. And nifaq al-ijtima'i. Example, I said it last time. You are looking for the hand of the lady in marriage, both of you are your friends. And you tell him, what is this about it? Please, I'm withdrawing. I'm just leaving him for you. Go and look for her in marriage. This friend of yours, go to your what? Authority or endorsements. Only for you to go and stab him at the back. You go to the parent and tell them, he's pauperized, he's very poor. Don't give him your daughter. It's a bad character. That is nifaq. He has the confidence. Look at what they're doing. They said this kind of behavior can transcend to become a major nifaq. That is why you seek Allah's protection against nifaq. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من النفاق والشقاق يا رب العالمين. That is the ayah. Let's go to the next ayah.
وإذا قيل لهم تعالوا يستغفر لكم رسول الله لووا رؤوسهم ورأيتهم يصدون وهم مستكبرون.
Still, another attitude of the Munafiqun is also mentioned and clearly made clear here in Surah number 5. وإذا قيل لهم تعالوا يستغفر رسول الله لووا رؤوسهم. If it is said to them, come on, so that the messenger seeks Allah's forgiveness for you, they should have responded positively. Say, okay, mashallah. Allah said, no. لَوَّوْا رُؤُوسَهُمْ. they will be bending their head. If somebody is talking to you and you bend your head, look at him, it's in a scornful manner. It's a mark that what is being said doesn't take any hold of you. It is belittled by you. It is humiliated. This is another attitude of the Munafiqun. لو رؤوسهم ورأيتهم يصدون وهم مستكبرون. You see them withdrawing, يصدون. مستكبرون, arrogantly. Arrogantly. What is arrogance? Arrogance is defined as بطر الحق وغمط الناس. بطر الحق وغمط الناس. To detest the truth. You don't want it. You hate the truth. It is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. But you don't want to hate. And then looking down upon people because of your SES, S-E-S, socio-economic status, and because of the geography you come from, or because of any flimsy things that are satanically driven. So people are nothing, you are self-opinionated. You feel highly placed. So you don't want to hear the truth. A shaitan was plagued by this disease of kibr. إِلَّا إِبْلِيسَ أَبَى وَاسْتَكْبَرَ وَكَانَ مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ. So arrogance is very bad. The opposite of arrogance is what? Humility. Humbleness, if you like it. There are some signs that make you a good Muslim without arrogance. You see, Ummah says Assalamu alaikum. Saying salam to the Muslim Ummah is a sign of your simplicity. Assalamu alaikum. Shake the hands of your brothers and sisters. When I say sisters, your sister, not somebody else's wife. The hand of your mother can be shaken. Your daughter, is it bad? Your wife, but your niece, any woman that you can marry, you can't shake her hand. You cannot. It's mark of what? Simplicity. Eat what you can lay your hand on. Don't say I have to eat the base of dishes in USA. Things are not like that. We are the simple clothes you can have. Don't feel above anybody. Don't. It surprises me to see some of the Western leaders so simple. I saw the Prime Minister riding on a bike, motorbike. That's wonderful. Prime Minister. Astaghfirullah. Whereas back in Africa, you see just a local public office holder in comfort, spending public resources extravagantly because he is honorable ABCD. But here, may I ask, what makes the difference? Is it level of civilization? Arrogance? Accountability, transparency, honesty, and the like. These are big words that we are missing in our socio-political culture back home. A whole prime minister on a motorbike. Unbelievable. In a taxi. I was in Washington last year when I came. What capital do we call it? In the Congress. I was surprised to see a senator having a commercial vehicle. A senator. But my hometown is not like this. You can't even see him. Allahu Akbar. That is Islam now. Why have they taken some part of our teachings, they implement it? If you see me want to go to politics, maybe I need money, I need prestige, but to deliver the good things from them.
Allah, Sheikh, there was a time the black foreign minister, I forgot the black one, Gordon Bush time, what is his name again? The foreign minister here.
Colin Powell.
Colin Powell. There was a time, there was a security event that was supposed to take place in Atlanta. So everybody went there. I was there. So what happened was he walked into the place and he was explaining that he have to take off his shoes. And he was the foreign minister, Secretary of State. Yeah, so a lot of people come from Africa, Nigeria. So they were all shocked, like extremely. Like he said that he had to take his shoes at the airport because at that time it was newly implemented. So he took his shoes, like they were shocked that he was telling them that he had to take his shoes. So
imagine.
This is part of.
Believe you me, humility exalts nation. If you are humble, Allah uplifts you. If you're arrogant, He crushes you down. The way He crushed Satan permanently, perpetually. Being a leader, some of our leaders by the time they are elected or selected or maneuvered in, either selection or election, yeah, or imposed. He will not come out to pray in the Jama'ah. He won't. He has his own cubicle. There he prays there because he was a VIP now. Before the election, you will come to the scholars, please, Ya Sheikh, pray for me. We are Sheikh, inshallah, din Allah. He said, La ilaha illallah. We need to undergo what we call spiritual rejuvenation. We should go for rebirth. Politically, economically, any link in the English lexicon. A whole prime minister, a whole secretary of state collecting his shoe. But if I'm a counselor in my own home place, my shoe is carried by the dependents.
And they never own
everything.
Yes, house here.
Allahu Akbar. Allahumma aslih hawalana. It's another mark of humility to eat with your wife. Yeah. Get this to your head, or your husbands. You too, as a lady, is mark of respect and humility if your husband comes back, collect his bag. Say, you're welcome, sir. Let me take your bag, let me collect your shoe. It's a mark of humility, my sister. Quickly rush to the kitchen, fetch him water to drink. Give him his food. Call him with the good name he desires. Mark of humility. Call his father with a good name, Baba or Papa. Don't call his father's name nakedly. Yahya has called me. His father. Dawda has called me. Garba has called me. Don't do that. You too, as the husband, call the name of her father with an honorable title, Al-Haji, Sheikh, Mala, Baba, and the like. It's a mark of humility. Eat with a little kid. The Rasul used to eat with little kids. Eat with them. Show them the good manner. He used to say salam to them. There are many instances. So kibr, arrogance, is to despise the truth and you look down upon people because you presume yourself to be somebody else, and you are not. Your origin is from a drop of sperm, and you drop dead, eaten by the worms, Allahu Akbar, except by Allah's intervention. Your book will be given to you one day. Before you die, you see a lot of things that bring you down. Old age. The older you are, the weaker you become. So why the arrogance? Why the overbearing nature? But the Munafiqun, Allah says, if they are called, they are reckoned, they are beckoned, come, receive Prophet istighfar, lower also. They will just disappear arrogantly. Then Allah says, Sawn alayhim, astaghfarta lakum. You have more time? Okay.
سواء عليهم أستغفرت لهم أم لم تستغفر لهم لن يغفر الله لهم
Now,
إن الله لا يهدي القوم الفاسقين
سواء عليهم أستغفرت لهم أم لم تستغفر لهم لن يغفر الله لهم. Allah says, سواء نعم عليهم. Doesn't make any difference. It is the same with them. Whether you request Allah's forgiveness for them or not, Allah will never forgive them. Because of the cumulative aberrational behavior they have been doing. So you should fear repeated act of disobeying Allah. It is a negative consequence. That is why we always pray, we say what? أعوذ بك من شر ما صنعت. So Allah says, whether you seek forgiveness on their behalf or not, لن يغفر. Allah will never forgive them. Because إن الله لا يهدي القوم الفاسقين. Allah does not guide a sinful people who are perversive in transgression. Next ayah.
هم الذين يقولون لا تنفقوا على من عند رسول الله حتى ينفضوا ولله خزائن السماوات والأرض ولكن المنافقين لا يفقهون.
There was a time in Medina, the Munafiqun held a meeting. In the meeting they discussed that the Prophet or the Messenger shouldn't be given any food item. Do not sell to them. If they are in need of anything, do not give them. They held the meeting secretly, but Allah exposed their evil agenda. هم الذين يقولون لا تنفقوا على من عند حتى ينفضوا. They are the Munafiqun. They are those who were saying, do not spend on those who are around the Messenger until they get dispersed. Why should you give Bilal, Suhaib al-Rumi, Ammar ibn Yasir? They are just bench warmers. They use derogatory terms against the Sahaba. Don't give them. وَهُمْ يَنْهَوْنَ أَنْ وَيَنْأَوْنَ أَنْ. They stop you from spending and they don't spend themselves. So Allah said they are such who we are saying do not spend on those in the presence of the Messenger until they get dispersed. But Allah says, وَلِلَّهِ خَزَائِنُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَلَكِنَّ الْمُنَافِقِينَ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ. Look at the ayah. وَلِلَّهِ خَزَائِنُ. خَزَائِنُ صيغة منتهى الجموع. Okay? What is the singular form of it? خزائن. You say خزينة. فعيلة فآئل. كبينة كبائل. بطيلة بطائل. So, وَاللَّهِ خَزَائِنُ. To Allah belongs the treasures of the heaven and earth. So if you think you are withholding, Allah can give. أَنَّا لَكِ هَذَا قَالَتُ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَرْزُقُ مَنْ يَشَاءُ بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ. Allah provides for whom He wishes without any record. Allahumma arzuqna bighayri hisab ya Rabbal Alameen. So to Allah belong the treasures, the keys of all the riches in the heaven and earth. But the Munafiqun perceive not. They don't have the fiqh, they understand it. Because fiqh literally means to perceive something with good understanding. Can we finish the surah? Okay. Which is okay. Jazakumullah khair. So inshallah ta'ala we'll stop here because of time factor. نسأل الله رب العالمين أن يفهم كتاب الله ويرزقنا تلاوته ليلا ونهارا. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Brothers, may Allah accept our fasting. May Allah increase our Sheikh's wisdom and understanding of the Book of Allah. And then may we all be registered among those who are going to be the dwellers of Jannatul Firdaus. We have the index card here if you want to write a question for our Sheikh that are going to be answered tomorrow. We have one here already. So my brother, can you share the index card so that people will just write their questions? And then what we traditionally do after Tafseer is we contribute dearly for the sake of Allah. We do fi sabilillah for the Masjid, fi sabilillah. Let us give dearly for the sake of Allah, my brothers. Please, fi sabilillah, lillahi wa rasulih. We have barely 11 days to go. May Allah give us the stamina, the strength, and then the piety to be able to see the end of Ramadan, inshallah. And then may Allah let us see other Ramadans, inshallah. And then we select the verbal questions. We'll take 3 people today. Those who first, my brother here, inshallah, our brother on the other row. And then also please, those who are doing the listening back home have sent their complaints. When you are going to ask questions, you use the mic so that they can hear. They can hear the question so that when our Sheikh is answering, they know that this is the question that is being asked. This was sent to us, to one of our students. And our ladies upstairs, if you want to ask questions, we have index cards. You can, get your questions written and then it will be given to our Sheikh here, inshallah. So we have our brother here. Yeah, Sheikh. Can you come closer, please?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yeah, my question is, sometimes I do travel between China and here, and there's time difference. So when I leave, let's say I leave China before Zuhur on a Monday, I get here around Zuhur on the same Monday. So I get confused, but the journey takes about 15 to 16 hours, but I come here on the same day because I'm traveling anti-clockwise. So I want to know, how do I do my prayers? Because it's the same day, and it looks like just 2 hours difference, because I leave around 11 in the morning and I get here around 1 or 1:30 in the afternoon on the same day.
By the time you leave the place you're traveling from, China to USA, for example, is the time of prayer due as obtained?
I leave, mostly it's around 11 in the morning before Zohar.
If you leave by 11 in the morning, the time for you to pray was not then due. Now, as you travel anti-clockwise, you say, you are coming here, you'll be looking at which time will you get to pray. Now, as you come, are you gaining out or losing hours?
You losing hours.
Right. Since you left there, Whenever you reach USA and it happens to be Zuhr time, that is your time. Allah did it. Allah created it. You not be held responsible. Because if the time met you there, you didn't predict you would be responsible for something. But now as you're traveling, when you left, the time was not due. And you have left the region that the time will have met you. When you arrive here, what is available in the locality you find yourself applies on you. So you pray Dhuhr here, not according to Chinese timing. Look at it now. Fasting how many hours? 16 years. Back home, 12 hours. Do I insist that I should fast the way Nigeria is fasting? No. So if you travel, you find yourself in this situation, what is important is for people like you to be very, very conversant with timing. It's very important. It's for every Muslim to know timing, the differences because of situations like this. Do not just remain, you only ask. Asking is very important. You too, because you travel a lot, it is also incumbent on you to be conversant with differential factors of timing as you travel. But concerning the issue, when you left China, you didn't pray because the time was not due. But if on board you are able to convince yourself it's time for me to pray, then you pray mid-air. Pray. How can you do that? Perform ablution. Enter the restaurant in the aeroplane. Do pray according to your ability. I remember I was traveling 2015 from Rabat to, I think, which place? What do you call it? Mauritania. Then the time for me to pray was due. So what can I do? I am on my ablution, on my seat. I did technically ihram, and I prayed. I know someone will be stealing, looking at you. Who's this guy? That's, you are worshiping your Allah. How can you do Allahu Akbar? Your ruku like this, sujood lower than that. Saudi airline, I believe they have a provision place where you pray. That's the condition. So that's how you do. If the time for you to pray reaches, pray in air. You don't know if you'll land safely. You don't know. But by the time you reach here and it is Zuhr, that is your prayer. Wallahu ta'ala.
Yeah, Sheikh, with his condition, can you do what they say, the Jam'u Taqdeem?
Of
Can
course,
you do that?
that is also important observation. If you are to take off, like say from China, in China, what time do you pray Zuhr, for example?
Around 1.
Okay. Now, if you're to take off, you pray your Dhuhr qasr, shortened, and then you draw asr at the same time. That saves you any worry. You pray Dhuhr now and asr before its time. You have the permission in the hadith of Ibn Abbas. Similarly, if it is Maghrib, you draw Isha, you combine both. It is called Jam'u Taqdeem. There is Ta'khir and Taqdeem. That is very important. It makes them easy for those on the joint. Allah.
So, Sheikh, on the same thing, right? I have that experience. Yeah, in the same instance he gave, I had that experience and I was asking myself, I'm very happy that he brought it up now. I prayed all my prayers, but when I arrived here, it's 12 to some minutes to 1 for Zuhr, and I have already prayed all my prayers already, even Isha. But when I arrived here, it's Zuhr, because from where I left, I only pray Subuh, like Istanbul, to here. So when I arrived here, it's Zuhr, so I was confused. And I searched it, I remember, and I see that I am not obligated to pray that Zuhr because I pray in the flight.
Same day?
Well, someday I left there like quarter to afternoon.
If you prayed in Istanbul, like
Only
Monday.
Subuh, I pray in Istanbul, only
Right.
Subuh. And the journey is more than 12 hours. And and I prayed my rest of the prayers, Zuhur, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, on the flight. But when I arrived here,
same day, Yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah.
same day.
Yeah.
It's okay. You prayed what is prescribed on you that very place. Arriving here at the time you arrive does not demand you to pray again.
Because I pray in the flight.
Exactly.
Jazakallah.
Second, one Muslim. Akwai lokaci. Akwai lokaci.
Assalamu alaikum. This question is from one lady. She said that she's a nurse working in a hospital, and there was one lady, non-Muslim, who died. She wanted to know if she was allowed to touch, because she had to cover the one who died and non-Muslim, and she wanted to know if she allowed to touch the body of that lady who passed away.
She's a nurse.
Yes.
You mean a nurse works in a hospital, a Muslim, and somebody dies, a non-Muslim lady.
Yes.
Is she allowed to touch her dead body?
Yes, to cover her.
Yes, what's wrong? You see, Allah says, yeah, the polytheists are impurities. إِنَّمَا الْمُشْرِكُ نَجَسٌ. But the najasa status is in spiritual terms. Otherwise, if you touch the body of non-Muslim, you can't pray. It's not the meaning. So you can touch the body at least to show humanitarian and human feelings. Alright? Unless if you do something that Islam doesn't say. So to cover the body is part of your duty. That's why you are there. So you can do it, making sure that your religion asks you to be as kind as possible. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam wa bihi.
Use my some of them.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My question is regarding to the fasting. Like take it here, we break our fast in like 8 like where you travel, like you going somewhere, they are fasting, they break it like 2 hours less than here. But your fasting, you have your fasting like you travel to other states. Maybe they breaking their fast like 6 o'clock. Like you have fast, when you get there, it's time for Maghrib. Can you break your fast at that time or not?
The same answer, similar to what I've said earlier. If somebody leaves USA, where we fast for 17 hours, I think, or 16, right, and you reach, say, Ghana, and by the time you calculate, you gain 3 hours ahead, or less. You say, well, let me wait until US's time reaches before I break my fast, if I get it well. No, you break your fast when the people are breaking their fast. You forget about it, you have left this part of the world. Similarly, if somebody reaches here, he has to be patient and maintain what it takes to be here. I don't know if it is clear. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam wa bihi.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Sheikh, my question is regarding Surat Al-Rahman. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala begin with the first 3 ayah, said Ar-Rahman, Allama al-Quran, Khalaqa al-Insan. So with these 3 ayats, I just want to know if, or the question should go this way, is there a sort of nuzul regarding that particular 3 ayahs? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he began with Ar-Rahman, Allama al-Quran, then he added with Khalaqa al-Insan, so Allama al-Bayan. So I'm trying to find out what is the main reason, because somebody did ask a question, so I'm trying to reframe it because they tested to me that they want to know why is it that it follows systematically with Ar-Rahman, Allama al-Quran, and then Khalaqa al-Insan.
Allahu al-Bayan. Well, if you ask me about the Sabab al-Nuzul, I cannot tell you right now. Allow me time to go and make my research. Maybe if there's something further, it's going to be, inshallah, the answer tomorrow by the grace of Allah.
He's a beautiful, nice person, really. It's very attractive. Inshallah, tomorrow by the grace of Allah. Any other question?
Let's take it. Let's take last question from our brother here. Yeah.
Write the question down.
Assalamu alaikum. My question is, if you have a friend, a non-Muslim, and he died, can you go to the funeral if you are Muslim?
If you have a friend who happens to be a non-Muslim and he dies, can you go and join the funeral procession? If you are a worker in a hospital and the calling of your office demands on you to drive the car, for example, carrying the corpse because of your duty, otherwise that causes trouble for you, it's your source of livelihood, that is quite different. But in this case, you don't live under anybody, you're on your own, as we say. And because you love this non-Muslim, you go and join in the procession. Then you are likely to say, oh Allah, have mercy on him. You are likely to say R.I.P., rest in peace. In Islam, that is not permissible. Lakum dinukum waliyadin. Maintain your religion, your belief, your iman. Not compromise your iman.
The Sheikh wanted to express condolences to the family.
We have spoken about condolence. Condolence, we talked about it last time. You can say sorry. Oh, he's gone? Sorry. Take hurt. Take hurt. What else can you say? Exactly. Please feel my sympathy. I am so sympathetic to you. I share this moment of trauma, you know. You bring your big vocabulary, it's very important to say.
On this, right? Like in some Muslim places, Muslim nations.
Yes.
Like in some Muslim countries, whereby they have their own system of armed forces, and some are Muslims, some are not Muslims. It's mixed up. So let's say non-Muslim officer died, you know, so and the system required that it should be given or paid respect in accordance with the salute. So I mean, how do you?
The problem we find ourselves with is that Islam has its own system. Islam has its own code of ethics. Everything codified, documented, written, and what have you. Now, an entirely different system comes, making intrusion. Now, the Muslims want to be in the system. He gets caught. Now he is going to Islam. Please, Islam, look at my situation. He is looking for Islam to make some soft peddling. Instead of you and I, looking at the system and say, hey, I am a Muslim, you are the one to compromise, Islam to follow me. Because Islam is aziz. It's to be followed, not to follow. That's the trouble we're facing today. In the cycle of the intellectuals and what have you. But then, what do we do? As long as we say we should go and enter the system to serve Islam, knowing fully the system has its own system too. You have to obey it. What do you do? So now the degree of your iman sees you through. The level of your Islamic consciousness is your guiding principle. If doing something is clearly against Allah to the point of shirk, you cannot do that. You can't do it.
That is one scenario.
Let me finish.
Oh, sorry.
If what you have been asked to do is not up to the point of shirk, for example, you do it, Allah knows your heart. Like the example I gave you. You should drive the car that contains the dead body of a couple to the burial place. You don't participate. That is based on the demand of your office. Military salute, according to Al-Imam Muhammad ibn Ibrahim, the Mufti of Saudi Arabia, before the Baz, to him, military salute is haram. This is shirk. Allah says, وَقُومُوا لِلَّهِ قَانِتِينَ. Now you are doing وَقُومُوا لِرَجُلِ قَانِتِينَ. That's the fatwa. But at times, in a country where you have mix of Muslims and Muslims, if you don't do it, the Muslims are likely to be shielded out of it. And it will be turned as. And then because we are the ones not even talking, if the Muslim leaders are talking, the Constitution guarantees freedom of religion, so allow our children to maintain our religious belief. That will not be solved. But we are quiet. We want Islam to just compromise its stand. That cannot be possible. So it depends on the nature of what you are demanded to do. If it is shirk, you know how dangerous that is. Now,
so Sheikh, like here in this part of the world, as it has been or is being suggested or advised that people join like forces. There was a time some of our colleagues died, like say during the September 11th. It took 6 months to investigate the death if he was involved or not. After 6 months, he was paid the salute and then brought to 96th Street and prayed for. So in this case, a Muslim. In this case, he is the kind of practice here overrides. It's not like Islamic State, for example. So it's already victimized. He died already. He doesn't know. So what do you think in this kind of situation, like a Muslim should do, like that in the forces? Because when you die, you don't know how you're gonna die.
it is important, first of all, because this is a free country which cherishes freedom of expression, democratic principles. What are the Muslim Ummah doing to make those in power to tell them about their concern? Won't they listen to you? Would they listen to you? I mean, what is the Muslim Ummah doing to lodge their complaints, issues like this, to tell those concerned, the politicians who also need your vote? They come to your mosque time to time. You have golden opportunity. These are our main concern, but we are muted. We don't talk. It's not their fault then. They tell you this is a free country, and it is true. You can. A lot of Arabs have come here. They worship God freely. Somebody they told me one day in Milwaukee, they said here in America we have freedom, Cyclone we couldn't get in our own land. If that is the case, what are we doing? You in the forces, have you taken off the matter to the politicians, those concerned? At least you have done something. If you couldn't achieve it, Allah says it. If you remain just hands akimbo, arms folded, you don't expect miracles or come. You have to do something. Just like the issue of burial. You take the dead body to New Jersey to bury it. The first time I saw how you bury it, I'm shocked. Shocked. When I was in Milwaukee, they asked me to come and pray. The same thing was repeated. The only difference was the death of our brother, young man, and Rashid last year in Connecticut. I think you remember that. Exactly years later. But when I was in a city in Connecticut, they told me they have earmarked a land where they bury the dead ones according to Islamic teaching. Now what are you doing to tell the government here, which will listen to you, because it's a democratic state? Please listen to our need. We are Muslim complain to where it should be lodged. I do believe something can happen in a better way. Wallahu ta'ala.
Yeah, Sheikh, the last question was sent to us through our Imam Isa. One of the ladies asked, is it okay to be an organ donor? What is the Islamic ruling with regards to donating an organ to somebody? Receiving. You receive or you give.
Organ, one part of one body, if it is believed by donating, you lose your life, and it's haram. Any organ that it is believed if you donate it, you'll be losing when you die, then وَلَا تُلْقُوا بِأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى التَّهْلُكَةِ وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ بِكُمْ رَحِيمًا. Don't do that. But if such organ is replaceable, you get me? And the man, the recipient, is in precarious situation, like kidney. Some donated. Somebody told me one can live with one kidney. Doctors, you know better than I do. If that is the case, and the one to receive the kidney is an organ, is in need of it, otherwise he dies, you give it to your home. But if the organ, I keep on insisting, if by the time you leave it, you are leaving this life dying, you cannot do that. So it depends on the nature of the organ being donated and the nature of the recipient. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam wa bihi tawfiq. Just like blood donation. Can you donate blood? Yeah. It's replaceable. No problem. Allah.
And the hijama, Sheikh.
No.
I mean, we learn that to either donate blood or to receive does not nullify one's fasting.
Yeah.
And how about hijama?
Hijama means copy. You know hijama? Copy. A whole. What do you call it here? Is it copy? Yeah, copy. Does copying nullify one's fasting? No. Because it is something, impurity, disease, harm you're removing. That doesn't nullify your fasting. Yeah. If it is done. I know the hadith of Bilal says, يعني أفطر الحاج والمحجوب. But you have to look at the deeper meaning of the hadith. Allah Ta'ala alam وبه التوفيق. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
اللهم أحسن عاقبتنا في الأمور كلها وأجرنا من خزي الدنيا عذاب الآخرة. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. إنا عبيد من عبيدك آتنا رحمة من عندك وعلمنا من لدنك علما. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.